You can only be in your power if you are free. So, always when you walk through a zoo, do you feel compassion for the animals there? All those wild animals, big cats, elephants, who are caught in a very small space and always sit in the same corner or do their rounds next to the fence. When you look in their eyes, they look broken. They look very, very sad. From inside, almost dead. So they completely lost their instincts. They don't know how to survive outside of their cages. They lost the connection to the real kind. And that's very sad. And actually it's so sad, especially that sad, because it reminds you to yourself. You see yourself in those animals. Because we humans also live in a kind of zoo. It's not very different to the zoo of the animals. Because what makes an animal domesticated? It's clearly that if you would put it in the wild nature, they wouldn't be able to survive. They don't know how to hunt. They forgot how to protect their territory, how to protect their babies. They can't survive on their own. Also, they are isolated. They forgot how to socialize. So if you put them together, they would probably kill themselves. Same happens with human beings. So imagine you would be somewhere outside in wild nature, for example, in the jungle. Would you know how to survive? Would you know how to hunt, which plants you can eat, where to find water, where to sleep, how to build a tent, how to make fire? No, you wouldn't know that. So you probably would die, and this is because we human beings are domesticated. We are disconnected from our wild nature. We are disconnected from our way of living, our instincts, and in a way from our genetics. Because once, when the human beings were hunters and collectors, they were connected with their wildness, with their instincts. They know how to survive. They knew it. So we developed our genetics by that. We still do have those skills, but we are disconnected from it. We are like numb. We can just go in the supermarket. We live in our comfort zones, in our invisible fences. Through that also we disconnected from social life in a way, because we used to live in tribes. Now we live more isolated. And we don't know our place in life anymore. And you see what happens in the world. Yeah? What confirms that? I don't need to bring examples here. We all know what happens with humans in the world. How we treat each other, how we destroy each other, how we destroy nature. We destroy everything. And that would not happen if we would be healthy. So human beings are not healthy anymore. We live in our own zoo we created for ourselves that can't function. We see it clearly. If we continue like that, the world will not survive. We will destroy everything. So what can we do? Yeah. And now I want to tell you really good news, because we are in a big difference to the animals in the zoos. They have real fences around, but we don't. Our fences are more invisible. So we think we need to obey what the government tells us. We think we need to listen to the rules, to do what society tells us, to stay quiet, to not stand up for ourselves, yeah, to pay our taxes. We think we need to live the rules of society. And that comes from fear. So, you can't save the world, right? And you don't need to. You can't even save any other person. Everyone needs to take responsibility for your own. And it is enough if you make your own change. It doesn't matter in the end what happens with the world. It only matters for you how you change, how you live, and if you break free. Because everyone can do that for themselves, and everyone has the choice and the possibility. You can just break free and live an example for other people and be an inspiration and motivate them, help them, maybe guide them. So you can begin, and even if the world will completely fail, you did your thing. You are in peace with yourself. So what can you do? There's one thing I can only recommend you, and that is do what you want. And that always includes, when I talk about that, it always includes take responsibility, don't harm others or damage others. But do what makes you happy, what you make feel good, and what comes with your power. So, in what do you feel your power? And what do you feel your expression? And what do you feel your energy? How do you want to express in the world? What do you want to contribute to the world? It's about waking up to yourself, to your power, to your wild nature, to your instincts also. You know, the world is like a big divine dream, something. We are living a dream, we are in a game, yeah? From a spiritual observation or point of view. So if you want, what happens with the world is like a divine nightmare. So you are like a figure in that divine nightmare. And if you are blind in that and just play your role there and never wake up to that, you suffer. You suffer immensely. But if you realize what's going on and for what that happens, you can step out. You can be conscious. You can observe what happens. Yeah? You can leave it up to them if they want to wake up. But you now can live differently. And you can be free. You can be always free. It's always your choice. And these are the good news. What I mean. These are the good news. You don't depend on others. You don't depend if other people live a good or a bad life, if they do good or wrong actions. Because you can live in a positive and constructive way for yourself and others if you want. You can bring your own light out if you want. You can be the example you want to see in the outside. Don't depend on the government. Don't depend on rich people who want to become more rich. Don't buy those products. Don't follow them. Don't even discuss about them. Just leave them beside and come into your own power. So I hope you understand what I mean, and I hope that helps you liberating yourself, because it's only about your choice and not about the others. And you will feel the difference how you feel afterwards. When you really do that, when you really unfold, you also realize that nothing can happen to you if you walk your path. So I hope this is an inspiration, and feel free to comment, to ask questions, also about your personal situation. If you maybe don't even know what to do, or you feel obstacles like you don't have money or you need to protect your family, you can write everything down. I will always answer, and maybe others want to answer. So it's never easy, but for every problem there's also a solution. And if it's only to surrender, right? So I wish you a powerful path. I wish you to grow into your potential, to awaken and make a difference in this world.